Hello, good evening, and welcome to Yes You Can podcast. I'm your host, Tamirman Okwen, and this is our first episode on the podcast. As the podcast suggested, yes, you can. Of course, you can achieve everything. All you got to do is take that bold step out of your comfort zone and move out to a place where things are happening. So, on this our own first episode today, we'll be looking at the reason why we got into a podcast and a lot of other things. And basically, the topic we'll be discussing about is the topic procrastination. So, in this procrastination aspect now, we are going to talk about how procrastination will be able to make people not to achieve their dream and live a purposeful life, and also how one can really overcome this procrastination as a whole. So before then, we dive into it, we would like to look into the definition of what procrastination really is all about. We'll talk about procrastination from a layman term. Procrastination can be prolongation of anything you want to do. Maybe you want to go and take your bath, you say I'll do it now, but then the weather is too cold, I won't do it now, later. Such a kind of example of procrastination, and to really overcome this, it has to take a lot of spirit for one to do that. Okay, but from the dictionary, basically, if we look at procrastination, the dictionary defines procrastination as the act of postponing, delaying, or putting off, especially habitually or intentional stuff you want to do. So there are a lot of things that you really want to do, and then you have been procrastinating about. I want to do this, I want to start a business this year 2024, I want to do this in 2024, I want to start a business. As I've said earlier, I want to make a better grade in my academic, I want to make more profit this year even in the business that I'm into, or I want to make more friends, not just friends, but friends that can be able to benefit my life both psychologically, emotionally, and even help me improve myself. But how can you do this if you're someone that procrastinates? So in 2024, we all have this ideology of I'm coming out with a new year resolution of things I'm going to accomplish. But I tell you what, 90% of people are not able to achieve that which they have set aside as their new year resolution, and then we're going to deal with that aspect too. But before then, let's talk about the Yes You Can podcast. Of course, this is our first episode. I personally is a victim of procrastination and all. The idea of this podcast came to me in 2020, during the COVID time. I was just at home one afternoon after reading The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale that really changed my life. So I now came to realize that if I can just start a little, then I can put on my efforts to be able to transform life in my own little way. And then with that, I hope that I can do that. But then thoughts begin to come into my mind. Thoughts like you don't have a mic, you don't have a better phone to record, you don't have a laptop to edit your recordings. Things like that are things that have held me down. But after reading The Power of Positive Thinking, one will ask, why didn't I use that ideology I got from the book to be able to step in and start this podcast? Of course, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to begin. But then after the years goes by, I procrastinate. I'm going to do it in 2021 when I get a better phone. In 2022, maybe when I get a microphone. I keep on procrastinating. Not until the end of 2023. Yes, on the 29th of December to be precise, I just went on my phone watching a YouTube reel video, and then I just came up along this video that said, why can't you do it? Why can't you do it now? Why wait for later? So after hearing that short message from, I can't really remember the author actually, it really transformed me, and I said 2024, I'm going to begin the podcast that I procrastinated about for the past 3 or 4 years, of course. And then another basic thing is that the universe has its own way it handles stuff like this. The moment you don't try to do that which you have set your mind aside to do, the universe give that idea away to somebody who even does not have that which you are looking forward to have before you begin this. He just started with faith. He just started with courage. I'm going to step out and I'm going to do it. And guess what? He's giving out the better result that you may be wondering, oh, if only I have started earlier, I could have been the same pace as this person. But then it doesn't matter if you have the resources at hand or if you don't. What you need basically is just to start at hand, start at the right time, say no to that voice inside of you that is telling you you can't amount to it, you can't do it. You need to overcome that voice of negativity. That's what I call it, the voice of negativity. Okay, I'm going to give an example of a story. if we had to talk about from the scriptural aspect, if you remember the story of a man called blind Bartimaeus, when Jesus was passing through the state of Samaria, and then he shouted, "Oh, Jesus, son of David, have mercy on me." But somebody shouted from the crowd, "Keep quiet, for he won't listen to you. Why waste your time?" But Jesus turned, but the man keep on shouting. So that is what we got to do with this spirit of procrastination. The moment the voice of negativity is telling us, keep quiet, stay low, you can leave it, you can do it. How about if we get a bigger crowd, a bigger audience? How can you face them? Things like that are things that are trying to keep us away from and drilling us from that which we have set ourselves to do. And then if you look at it, the scripture never mentioned the name of the man that was shouting the name of, "Oh, blind Bartimaeus, shut up. Jesus is just passing through. He ain't going to listen to you." The scripture did not mention that. The scripture only mentioned blind Bartimaeus' name because he was able to overcome the negativity of his environment. Because the environment that you live in can either change you positively or negatively. But then the world now is full of toxic stuff. So we need to clear our mind of all this toxic stuff, of waking up with everyday news of these things are happening, the economy is crashing, the world is crumbling, disaster, crisis everywhere. You just have to clear that from your mind, and then when you set your mind aside to do whatever you want to do, I tell you what, just step it out, just step out. You can do it. It doesn't matter how little you started, as I've said earlier. So procrastination is just, how will I call it? You are a giant. Of course, you're a giant. Just look at procrastination as a monster seed that you just trample upon. But then if you leave that monster seed to grow, it's going to become a tree that will become your worst nightmare that you can ever face. So to overcome this procrastination, I'm putting up what I call the little tips of the day. Basically, you start your day with this proclamation: yes, I can, yes, I will, and yes, I must. These are the basic things I want us to understand. The yes, I can means when I step out, no matter how negative it is, I will do it. Then the will is the passion that is chasing you to do that you have set your mind. And the must, so there's no turning back to it, no retreat, no surrender. The moment I step out, I'm going to do it. So to overcome the spirit of procrastination, basically, I think when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do when you say your prayer and stuff, start by just dressing your bed. Yes, just dressing your bed, and then I tell you what, you'll be set for the day. Even if you can't really achieve the big things you have set your mind on to achieve for the day, when you come back and you discover that yes, you are able to make a bed, it's something you can really live with. Coming back to a made bed is much more better than coming back to a scattered and shabby bed. So it's very important that you start by doing the little things that you never thought matters. That's how you overcome this procrastinating spirit and then live up to expectation. So ladies and gentlemen, today I'll be drawing the curtain here, being our first episode. I hope to see you next Friday as you join us on Spotify, as I'll be sharing the link on my WhatsApp status and my social media handle, where you can really listen to our podcast and then subscribe, and then you continue to live motivated, purposeful, and live your life at its full and to its very best. I remain your host, Tamirman Ukwen. I hope I come your way again next week. Thank you. Bye. And I tell you what, yes, you can do it.